What's going on, world? Welcome to another episode of Cuzzo Convo. I am your host, Mo Lovely,
And I'm Renaissance Ronnie.
and thank you for joining us. If you are new to this page, this YouTube page, welcome, 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 and welcome all of our distant Cuzzos from before. And always remember that we appreciate it when you support us. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, but also make sure that you love up on that like button and hit that share button as well and share out our content. And always communicate with us, comment, and so let's get this show on the road. We have a recap part 2 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So if I would to jump in here and say, again, Carlos King, we did not need 3 parts.
We didn't.
We really, really
And he
did
snuck
not.
the Whitlows in there at the last minute. I was like, where'd they come from? The Valentine's Day party? Like, it just slid on in there.
Yes. Yeah, we really didn't need 3 parts. But with that being said, we have a couple of things that we're going to discuss tonight. And so when we open back up, we open back up with Melody and
Destiny.
Martell. Melody and Destiny, and that there was this continued conversation about, where did the friendship go wrong? What happened? Where are y'all now? Et cetera, et cetera. But in the midst of that, and Mel was, saying her piece. And then it came to a point where I guess there was I know Destiny was like, well, I really know something about you. And so, you don't really want me to. And she was like, oh, please do whatever it is that you need to say, that you need to say. And of course, you saw Marcel was like, don't do it. And all I just thought about was that day on TikTok girl who be like, don't do it, girl. And I ain't gonna do it. Don't do it. And that's all I was thinking about when he was like, don't do it. So anyway, but apparently word on the street, and I don't know if this was something that was going to pop up, but apparently word on the street allegedly that once Mel had divorced Martell, uh, that Mel had to start over again, and so she filed for bankruptcy. And when she filed for bankruptcy, pretty much everything was lost. And so her starting over again, Destiny shared in a live that she helped anytime that Mel called, needed a ride, because apparently Melody, excuse me, car was not working. So she would call Destiny would pick her up. Pretty much Destiny was like there doing a whole bunch of stuff for Mel in the midst of post divorce, filing for bankruptcy and starting over. And so I'm assuming that that's what was going to be shared. And actually, who knows? It could have honestly been shared because they edit things so weirdly. Because, and I know this to be true, because when you look at digital exclusives, the
Right.
digital exclusives, you'll be like, wait a minute, that wasn't that's not how that edit came out. So I don't even know why they decide to put it on a digital exclusive, but then air something else on TV. It makes no sense because it's pretty much y'all showing y'all hand that when y'all do editing, y'all really like be messing with a lot of the footage that where the truth is really revealed. So
Right.
I digress. So I think the biggest thing for me, and I mean at the end of the day, you know, that is what true friendship is about. I think that this is possibly why Destiny is, I'll say this. Do I think that Destiny desires to get back what she had with Mel? I personally I do. I know she says like no, but I think that that's just her. that's just her, like, I'm just going to protect myself. I'm saying no because I want to protect myself because I never want to go through this again. But do I believe that she misses her friendship? And I mean, rightfully so. I think that when you feel like you have something real or whatever with friends, you can mourn friendship that you feel like was like, good to you at the moment, the time, or whatever that they did share. But I think that something, and before we move to the question that I'm going to put out on the table, what were your thoughts as far as the continued back and forth of which I'm quite frankly over? Again, I think Mel said it best to me at the table. I think we have to be okay with people being at least cordial and respectful and moving forward. Like, if me and you not seeing eye to eye no more, if you and I are no longer, like, we know we just will never get that back, it's okay. But if we can be respectful and cordial, say hello, speak, do whatever. It is weird because it just seems like it happens on TV, but then when it comes to the internet, just becomes a whole bunch of stuff. Um, but I will say that what was interesting because I know Mel also brought up, I mean, Destiny also brought up, she was like, she's trying to stop my business. And she was like, no, I didn't try to do that either. Um, and then there was the friend that she was specifically talking about,
Mm.
Dr. I forgot her name, Hartwell. I'm not sure, but she did come forth and was like, yeah, she was speaking about me, but Mel had nothing to do with it, which I think we talked about last episode. So anyway, so it's just it's still some inconsistencies. Again, I can't say that there's not accountability on both parts of why the friendship failed. I think that you know, I don't know. How old is Mel? Is she like in her mid-30s, early to mid-30s?
I think Mel, you think early 30s? I thought she was in her late 30s actually. I
We're
thought
we're
Mel was
definitely
like
older
our
than
age.
we're
Oh,
older than
we're
Mel.
older than Mel?
We are. Um Not that much, probably by like 2.5 3 years, but she's I don't think that she's in her late 30s. I
Oh,
think she's between, like, she might be between like 35 37, which would be, I mean, close to us.
she's
But
yeah, she's 37. Her birthday's November 11th. So
okay. um so yeah, so
she's 1 year younger than us.
I'm thinking that she, I don't know, I don't know. Um, I don't know. I'm thinking that she is. I don't know what I really want to say when it comes to, uh, like, as I reflect on when it comes to like friendships with my own self. I don't know. I think you just come to a point in time where it's just like whatever you shared is whatever you shared, and though it may hurt to be like, I gotta go my separate way or we gotta go our separate ways, I just think that she's in the mindset now where maybe if this wasn't on TV, maybe her and Destiny would probably continue to their friendship, but I feel like she might just feel like this is like, what's the point, because I feel like you're getting uh attention that you don't deserve, and so I just want to just let it go. Like, I don't want your name to be attached to mine, and I don't want my name to be attached to yours, so I just want to, like, let it go. I don't know. But I personally just feel like they do need to let it go, because it's just, at this point, like, the storyline is crazy, it's stupid. It's just like, yeah, just release each other and whatever. I see you, you see me, hello, how you doing, and keep it moving. I don't know, like.
I think the show like aids to the damage of their friendship. It doesn't help mend it because it's like they may be on the show recording or whatever, and they agreed that they could be cordial or whatever, or even friendly, not friends, but friendly to each other. And then and that's, they filmed that in May and they're good. And then by the time the show airs and they see, maybe green screen footage or whatever you want to call it, confession footage,
Mm,
or they see conversations between Destiny and Martell, or they see conversations between Mel and Stormy or whatever, and then it just roused the anger back up, and then they're
mm,
back to square one, even though back in May they agreed to be cordial or friendly or whatever. So
true.
it just rehashes everything. And then on top of that, like you said, the social media aspect, when you get people, I won't even say in your ear, but when you have so many comments that say, girl, Mel, Destiny is not for you. You need to drop her, or Destiny, Mel looks down on you, or whatever the case may be, then it just rehashes feelings. And it's like, I can't be seen hanging back with this girl and with the public, and the public gonna look at me like, girl, are you stupid?
Mm,
So I just think that, like you said, the show, if it wasn't for the show, they probably would be able to mend their friendship. I won't
mm,
even say that they won't ever be able to mend their friendship. It's just probably the show adds time to it. So it may take time for them to
mm,
not even not be back to where they were, but be somewhere with each other. And then what happens is, and I'm kind of like Mel in this aspect, she speaks and she says things so concrete. Like she says, I will never be friends with her again, or I will never do that again. And you really can't say never, honestly. Like down the line, your feelings may change. And I mean, there's people that I've said I will never talk to them again. And then for whatever reason, I've softened to that person. Like I've actually had a similar situation where there was a friend of mine who we were really close, and then we had a falling out, like a really bad falling out. And I was like, I'm never talking to that girl ever again in my life. And then 10, maybe 10 or more, 10 plus years passed, and that person's mom passed, and they reached out to me, and I softened up. They're not my friend, still not my friend, but I'm, as opposed to 10 years ago where I said I would never talk to them again. Now I do. I say, hey, how you doing? Or, I'm cordial with that person. Or like I said, their mom passed. I checked on them when their mom passed. And even as the anniversary of their mom's death came along, I reached out and said, just checking on you to see how you're doing. So
mm.
you can never really say never. I'm sure in this moment, in this moment in time, Mel feels never. She feels strongly about never, but you
Mhm.
never know.
Mhm.
I mean, she also said she never thought that she would have kids with somebody that she doesn't like. So
Yeah, that was an interesting comment. I was like, ooh, not a.
yeah, that really that was, I believe her. Like that's probably the saddest part about the whole thing for her. She's probably like she got, what, four kids by this man, and she can't stand him. It's like this is somebody I just wanted to I want to completely X out of my life. I really don't want to have to ever say anything to them ever again, but I got to because we got four kids together. Not
Mm,
one, not two, four. That's a
yeah.
lot of communicating. So it's even like, baby girl, what's the oldest one? She turned 18. You still got Tank. He turned 18. You still got Boss Baby. You still, girl,
Yeah.
you're gonna be in here for a good little while before
Long
you can
hole.
be.
Yeah. Yeah. So buckle up. Hmm. Yeah. 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 It's a lot. It's a lot. So talking about Mel, Martell, and Destiny, do we came to a part of the reunion where which was really awkward, where uh they started to talk about, well, Mel brought up pretty much where she feels like there was inappropriate, it was inappropriate to as she stated, pretty much like team up with my ops, which is my ex-husband. We're both going through these divorces. We're both on the phone talking about, oh, he do that, yeah, he do that too, and all, whatever.
Right.
And she's like, and then when you and I no longer are what we are, it's now you're back with talking uh
Martin.
to Martell,
Right.
and teaming up with him, and whatever he ignites you to say or whatever he tells you, then you're whatever. So I guess the question on the table is one, um, you know, do we feel that um that there is any validity to that, and did pretty much did like Destiny break girl code when it came to befriending, even though she was friends first with Martell. She revealed on the reunion that they've known each other since they were 15 years old and all these sorts of things. And then it comes to, hey, we're divorced. Um, so I'm gonna communicate with my friend Martell, or I'm not cutting him off because of whatever. So yeah, so what are your thoughts? I have a couple of thoughts, but what are your thoughts?
Um, well, first of all, let's be clear. Every last person on that cast is a vessel of Martell. Like none of them, everybody was introduced to Melody through Martell. These are
Mm-hmm.
all, the whole crew is all Martell's friends. So
Mm-hmm.
Melody technically does not have anybody who um, was previously her friend or
Right.
that she knew not through Martell. Like everybody,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to discount any of her friendships because I believe that her and Kimmy has a true friendship, and I believe that her and Tisha once had a true friendship. But or maybe not. I don't know. That's hard to tell. But either way, it was all through Martell. I
Mm-hmm.
think what happened is number one with Melody, when not just the fact that they were getting a divorce, it was the reason for them getting a divorce, which was Martell's infidelity. I feel like she believes that one of two things. I think she believed they not necessarily sided with Martell, but I think a part of her wanted them to cut, at least the females, cut Martell off, and no one did.
Mm-hmm.
So that's number one. When it comes to Destiny specifically, I think Destiny's argument was that it was okay for me to talk to Martell when I was getting intel for you, basically, is what she was
Mm-hmm.
saying. Um, I think Martell and Destiny, it wasn't so much so that they were friends, whether then or now. I think it's just the case of when enemies link up.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have a common interest, which is not liking Mel.
Right.
So I don't even think they're friends. And I don't even think that, because, but outside of filming, I doubt very highly that Martell and Destiny hook up and hang out or go to lunch or go to the wine store and talk. Like,
Well, she was
I think,
calling them between 1 and 5 a.m., child. So I don't know. Which I'm like, what? That's weird. I'm like, unless I got like a boot on my car, or I'm stuck, like a look, hey, I'm just out at the Black Lounge. Can you? I don't know. Because again, we ain't get no confirmation. She.
we didn't get no confirmation. We didn't get any context of what it was about. We didn't get the story behind how Mel got the call or about how she. I mean, I know it was something about Martell's calls was transferred to Mel's phone or something else like that.
Right. So this was my issue with that. So yes, you can, and I learned about this, I guess, 3 years ago, because the lady who installed my locks, she had this, it's not a program, but pretty much like everything that she gets her son's like phone calls, she gets her son's text messages, she gets her son's everything. So she's like, I know who's calling him, when they're calling him, what time, I know what she's like, I can pretty much see everything. And so my thing was, I didn't understand why, even when Mel said, well, I am changed. That's why I had to change my number last week. I was like, girl, your number should have been changed. Once that divorce happened, there should have been no more transfer of calls, or, you getting receiving phone calls or whatever like that. But pretty much that's how she found out that Destiny was calling at 1 to 5 in the morning, because, which is a whole big gap of time, child. Okay. We talking about from booty call to early morning rise worship. And I'm just like, that's a long span, that's a huge span of time. So, but anyway, but yeah, that's pretty much how that whole thing. But I didn't quite understand the whole thing when it was like, but yeah, I'll if I'm divorcing, like we cutting all ties, because the thing is you don't even trust your ex-husband. So to have his calls being transferred to you or whatever, however you guys had your phone set up, because I'm assuming that she had it that way because of the mistrust that was happening in their marriage. And she wanted to make sure, like, well, I'm gonna see who's calling, when they call in, who, whatever. And so that particular feature stayed on, and it was just like, and
Two
so
years
she,
later?
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said what I said, which is that should have been cut. You should have had a new phone number long time ago. When she said that's why I got a new number last week, I was like, last week from being divorced for almost 2 years. No, boo. Did as soon as we filed them papers, everything should have been boom, boom, boom. Hey, listen, I'm cutting this phone number off. I will give you the new phone number, or whatever it needed to be. But yeah, she should have been cut that off. I was the only thing that I can think of, unless that was an additional phone that, like, maybe for business or something, like it was their business phone. That's
Mhm.
the only thing that I can think of why that phone continued to stay like activated, that particular number, and where you was getting his phone calls or whatever. But other than that,
I thought they were communicating through email. Like, I don't even know. Because remember when he had his the book that he did with the
mhm,
children, and he was
right.
saying he emailed her because I assumed that he was emailing her because his number was blocked out her phone. But that whole exchange with the phone is weird, and I'm
Yeah,
not following. And they didn't give Carlos didn't ask the right questions in that instance about the phones, or maybe he did, and maybe they edited it out or whatever.
yeah,
But it didn't. I couldn't follow what was happening there, you know,
yeah.
or why it was happening. But what are your thoughts on Destiny and Martell?
So for me, I actually have a real life situation with this,
Mm,
where I was actually friends with the male first, and the girl, who I became friends with, which was his wife, got married, and um, some year 2 3 years later, uh, got pretty much like got a phone call and was like, "Yeah, this is done. This is over." Yeah. So with that being said, um, I personally, though, yes, I was friends first with him. Um, her and I were very close, and I just didn't feel that my I didn't necessarily feel a tug of loyalty when it came to, like, well, this your friend first, so you think you should call him, ask him about details, like why, why is this happening? Why are they filing for divorce? Whatever. He knew, obviously, he knew that her and I were close. We were very close. He knew. So it wasn't a surprise, like, he knew that we had became very, very close, whatever. I was in their wedding and everything. But the thing is, I could not imagine, like, even today, like, if I were to see him and he would be like, "So I want to sit down and talk to you about this, because you and I never actually got an opportunity. You never got to hear my side of the story. You never got to, you got all of her and you didn't hear anything of me." Would I sit down and listen to him? I would sit down and listen to him. I would hear him out and tell me, whatever. But one thing I would not do, and me and the young lady are no longer friends, so this is why I say this is pretty much Destiny and Mel. Um, I could not find myself. I would not bash her. I wouldn't sit there and, like, if he's like, "Oh, this is what was going on, and this is, and she was this, and she was whatever." Again, I would listen, but I would just say, "Okay, well, at this point, I think they're both remarried." But I just would just, I would not, I could not see myself personally, though her and I are not friends. That would be me, to me, breaking girl code when it comes to like, I don't know, just like entertaining the conversation or bashing or ganging up on or like being like, yeah, so like I just couldn't see myself doing it. And so for me, I just feel like Destiny should have remained neutral, because this is what I will say. When we go back to last season, when the divorce was happening, one thing that we definitely have to say that Destiny did is that every time Martell was doing something out of pocket, did something, said something,
She would check.
Destiny was definitely checking Martell.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to give her that. With that being said, I just feel that, again, they made her pretty much look, it looked really petty, because it's like, how do you keep this man accountable because you and his ex-wife are cool, but then now you and the ex-wife are no longer cool, and it just looks like petty boots with everything. Oh, did you see this? Oh, did you hear what your ex
Yeah,
said?
that's what I was gonna say. It wasn't. I feel like it's not necessarily her linking up with Martell to like talk bad about. I mean, it's talking about her, but you know what I'm saying? It's not like the worst things. But I just feel like it just smells of okay, Destiny, and you got a scene with Martell, and I want y'all to bring up Mill's interview. That's what it just feels like. And it's like, you got them letting you be the bone collector, Destiny, and you look stupid. So you need to tell them, no, I don't want to talk about me. Like,
Right. My thing is, I'm like, if the producer's telling you that you are difficult and you're not working well and you're not giving us nothing, that girl, that should have been the moment where you said, no, I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm going to do. I don't want to do that. I don't want to rehash that. I don't really care about them. No. So I'm not doing. That's when you should have been saying no.
Because it be so random to me. It just be like,
it was. I was like, what's happening here?
Like, okay, can you come look at this venue with me? And she'll be like, okay, this venue is nice, but did you see this male interview? And it'd be like,
right.
what?
Yes. Yeah, it was terrible. It was like, it was not, it was terrible. So yeah. So no, I just, for me, I'm like, no, nobody could pay me enough money to just sit there and just be like, yeah, let's just, talk about this woman. Like, I'm like, no. So anyway, so I digress. Yeah, for me, it would not work. That's something that I wouldn't be committed to doing. Especially when I know that I was just keeping this person accountable for their actions. So just that. But yes, moving along off the male Destiny Martell train, we have we have and child, I didn't even think about this, but at some point we had the Whitlows come out.
They just sprinkled the Whitlows on the couch. Did they introduce them, or did they just come back from commercial and they were sitting on the couch? Like, I don't even remember how they got there.
Yeah, they came back from commercial and they were like, and Carlos was like, and we are joined here with the Whitlows. Hey Tiff, hey Big Lou. And I just was like, yeah. So yeah, of course, nothing. Hello, goodbye. Nothing was even, child. I don't even think I even heard Tiffany speak. Like,
do you believe that none of them knew that she was pregnant?
Do I believe that none of them knew that? I don't know.
So is she friends with anybody? Like,
I really don't think so. I really don't think so. So again, Carlos, if y'all talking about firing Destiny, y'all can let that couple go too. But I know that he's gonna be like, oh no, because we want to see how this baby changed y'all lives. So we already know why they're gonna be on this show next season. But they can leave.
I saw an interview where they said that basically Tiffany could be like the perfect villain on the show, but the problem is they basically say she gets it started when she comes to different places, but the problem is she doesn't look good enough to really like get it started. Like if she had glam, like if her hair was done and she looked beautiful, for whatever reason, it's like it falls flat because she looks like she works at the credit union. Like,
You know what?
so
I
it's
need
just
not
so
the
it's just
breakfast.
like, okay, girl. And then it's like moving on. But if she was fabulous, kind of like a Kenya, and who looks fabulous and then comes to the place and gets it started, then it would be like, ooh, I like her. Like I can't stand her, but at the same time, I like her. Like, someone they love to hate, like a Kenya Moore. But
I,
because again, she looks like she about to go
she's a
teach Sunday
sophomore.
school, then it just don't come together. Because Miss Tiffany she got a lot going on, and then now there's even that she's pregnant. Like Tiffany got a lot of body. Like it's a lot going on with Miss Tiffany. I was
Well, when she was
sitting
like,
up there. I
"Yes,
said,
I'm
"Ooh, she got
4 months."
those breasts now."
Right. When she was like, "Yes, I'm 4 months," I said, "Girl, I don't see the belly, but them breasts is popping out." What's up? She was over here rubbing her belly. She was like, "I am 4 months pregnant." I was like,
And
"Okay,
them
we can
hips,
see it
honey,
in your titties."
got
Like,
breasts, and she already had hips. And I was like, "Ooh."
yeah, no, that's what I saw, the pregnancy in them breasts is. But but yes, but congratulations to them. I hope it works
They're
out.
having a girl, right? That's what they said.
No, she's having a boy. Remember, his name is Ace
Oh yeah,
because
she did say that.
Ace need.
Tiffany. It just screams like when I remember the feeling I had when she was like, "Yeah, it's a boy and his name is Ace." It was like, Tiffany, you named the baby already? Like she really was just like, I don't care what Lou says, I'm having a baby, and I
Yeah,
already have a name picked out.
yeah. Anyway, so yeah, yeah. So yeah, congratulations to them again. I
Yes,
wish them nothing but the best.
congratulations, Willows.
I hope that it works out for them. I think that they had a digital exclusive that where Kimmy pretty much was talking about them, again, the holding them accountable to say, hey, you guys are always saying this, like specifically with the retreat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they were just like, no, no, we weren't wrong. We were this, I was just like, okay, whatever, child. Okay. Anyway, moving on, y'all. It's just they
We, we moved to, I guess we get to explore, they started to explore a little bit more of where Martell and Melody stand as of now, and discussing him filing for full custody of the children.
yeah.
And then Carlos begins to basically give his assessment of Martell and how he thinks Martell is still in love with Mel, which
Mm-hmm.
is obvious.
Yeah.
And Carlos begins to cry actually because he just thinks that Martell is such a changed person now, which I don't see him as a changed person. Martell is the person he's always been. And my thing is, number one, I don't feel sorry for Martell like Carlos does. And maybe I'm just a viewer, so I don't have any emotional attachment to Martell, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel sorry for him. I don't think that, well, I do think he's still in love with Melody. I think more than anything, Martell's embarrassed because the look of him and Mel. Him and Mel were like the it couple of Huntsville. Because
Right.
I went back to the first season and explored all this. They were the it couple of Huntsville. The everybody talked about Mel and Martell and how perfect they were, and Martell loved it. He ate it up.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he did what he did and the relationship fell apart, he just knew that Mel was going to stay. And again, like I said, I went back and watched the first season. Immediately, Mel started to capitalize off Martell's cheating. Even before they even decided they were going to get a divorce, immediately Mel started to capitalize off of his cheating. She started having tea time with Mel, and she would discuss, how, I'm no better than you. I get cheated on just like you, and the ladies ate it up. Meanwhile, Martell was still trying to, he into Mel was saying, don't talk about me cheating or stop talking about it. And why every time we with our friends, you bring it up or just keep it a secret. But yet, like Melody told him, you want me to keep everything in the house, but you can't even keep your penis in the house. So I think he misses the look, the perfect couple persona that they had. And I think he's embarrassed. And the fact that he will never admit that, number one, he still is in love with Mel, and that he misses them as a couple. Because if he says that, then he has to admit that it's really over and that Mel's not coming back. And there's no way in the world Martell's ego is going to let him admit that he's been defeated by Mel. And Mel is going to move on with her life, and she's going to find somebody that's 10 times better than Martell. He thinks that's impossible. And I can't wait until the day that she finds somebody that is 100 times better than Martell. But she's going to have to let her guard down. And I know that's probably hard for her at this moment, but is somebody out there that's 10 times better than Martell. And
Well,
she's going to
apparently
find him.
she's with him. She is with somebody right now.
So. Oh, she got a man.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, when she posts her little, she's like, confirmation is him. It's him for me, where when she he brings her roses and stuff like that. And she pretty much said, when people were like, well, are you going to reveal? And she said, no, because I have my whole marriage on display and on TV. And she said, you see how that turned out. And so for me, I want to do things different. So she's keeping the it guy private. But yeah, she's in a relationship.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah. So yeah, no more of that. Yeah, he jacked that all up, and
so he better try to make it happen with Sheree, because Melody was out. See, what happened was, and I know I keep going back to the first season, but I went back and watched it. Melody, like I said, the whole cheating allegations, well, he was cheating before the show even started filming, but they went ahead and started filming anyway. And Melody, basically, she was mentally checking out. And then he said he would stop, so she was going to try to make it work. Then from what I remember is then a phone call came in. I'm sure it's from Arian or whatever. And so she realized that he hadn't let this girl go. So she was really out the door again. But then she got pregnant. I remember the scene clearly of her telling him that she's pregnant. He had a smirk on his face because he thought, oh, I got you. You can't leave now. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I'm pregnant, but you can stay in the house, but I'm gonna sleep in this room and you're gonna sleep in the other room. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna have this baby, and then we're gonna see. So she even was like, okay, I'm still taking baby steps, but she was letting them know that you're not back. As soon as that baby came on out, she was like, all right, that's all the confirmation I need. Melody had been meeting with divorce lawyers and everything the whole time. Like, I'm just trying to get my ducks in a row. He think he got me. He think he trapped me with this baby. He doesn't. He trapped me.
Yeah. So yeah, I do hope that there is. I think that deep down that there is a man that does desire to be good, but he needs help. He needs real man mentorship. I'm sorry, I don't think that Marceau, and I'm going to say the Scott brothers as a whole. I don't think that's what he needs. I think that he needs men that, for me, have not ever probably put him in any form of compromising positions, any form of, yeah, I met the girl and I ain't think anything was wrong with it, I thought it was just none of that, where he's not being checked and accountable. He really truly needs a man that's a true husband, is saying this is inappropriate behavior. if you want another not friendship, if you want another marriage, you need to
Mhm.
know that these things are not going to keep a woman. These things are not going to whatever. You're this, you're that, you're whatever. And I mean, of course, we've seen like, them have a couple of conversations like, oh, well, Marty, you always speaking about this, but you
It
don't
really
never.
should be his uncle, the uncle that checked him about not mentioning Grandma Inez. He
Mm-hmm.
he's probably the one that needs to tell him, look, get yourself together, like for real, for real. Because
Yeah.
Mama ain't doing it. One
Yeah.
minute Mama seem like she was trying to get him together. The next minute Mama be like, but that's my son and he's a good
Yeah.
man.
I'm
And it's
so
like,
proud
no,
of
he's
you.
not, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all.
It's been a day.
Yeah.
Like I've been in mom mode all day. And he
um
just was like, we still gonna get on here and talk about part 3. So we
yeah.
here for y'all, but it's been a day.
Yes. So moving on to the just the very last, what are our expectations? We know that they did recap on Kimmy. Um and you let me know that the streets are talking about how they feel like Kimmy has faked the storyline about her having
Cancer
cancer.
storyline. That's terrible.
That
People
is,
just
y'all, like that is ruthless. First of all,
disgusting.
if you have watched from Kimmy from first season to up to now, like I was explaining to Ronnie, we like she's never cried. Maybe she did cry a little bit on her wedding day, but other than that, like she's not a crier. So where did them tears come from?
Even
From
Jalen said she's not a crier.
right, exactly. So I'm like, y'all really thought that this was, I don't know. I no, there's just no way. There's
They
just no
thought
way.
that Kimmy was more than a realtor and a nurse. She was an actress as well because
No, I did not get any inkling that that woman was lying about her diagnosis for a storyline. Yeah, no. Like that is just this is the thing. I think that people have to be very careful. I do understand that there's a lot of people that do not like the Scott brothers. I get it. Or Scott family in general. But the issue is, and I appreciate this about Kimmy, where she's like, yeah, this is my husband. Yes, I'm married into the family, but I still stand 10 toes down on my own when it comes to Kimmy. And you have to respect that about her. Like, she's not person that's like easily persuaded. Now, granted, obviously last week we talked a little bit about something that I really necessarily agree. But that's probably the one thing that out of all of Kimmy's moments that I've been like, I don't know. But beyond that, again, a woman that definitely stands 10 toes down on, when it comes to like, hey, I know you may feel this way, but this is how I feel about this. This is what I'm saying. This is what, hear my voice, da 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 da. So I don't, I think that we have to let that go. That yes, she's married to who she's married to. She's married into a family that she's married to, that we obviously know that the Scott brothers as a whole, Maurice being probably the most like okay one. And then no, people will go, I bet the differ, he ain't no different. But I'm just saying, at least what's
I don't
presented
have a
on
problem with
the show,
that.
that I don't think that we should take out our whatever we don't like about them on Kimmy, because there's no, she didn't fake that storyline.
And everybody from Baltimore is not a scammer.
Not they brought up Baltimore, her being from Baltimore. I'm done. I'm done. No. Anyway, but
So
yes. So continued healing to Kimmy, honestly, and I do hope that uh
she's in
she
radiation
just,
now.
but I hope that she does kind of detach herself, because the thing is that social media and just what people say, how they say it, when they say it, can be very cancerous to the soul. and into your mental. So I just hope that that Maurice is helping and guiding her, or friends are helping guiding her in that capacity to say, we're not even going to discuss it, we're not going to entertain it, you don't need to comment. I do hope that that sacred space is created for her.
Well,
Because
Maurice has been going in on people in the comments, but I will say that while I don't follow any of them on social media, Kimmy is the one person that I do. I don't follow any of them except Kimmy. Kimmy's the only person I follow on social media. But when I do look at their other pages, they all kind of are, especially Mel, of course, they're all pretty consistent with posting and things like that. Kimmy, who I do follow, rarely posts. Like she rarely. That doesn't mean that she doesn't read comments or go to other pages or whatever and see things that people say. But I can say that Kimmy like rarely posts. Like she may post once a month or even once every 2 months. Like she rarely posts. And when she does post, she usually posts around when the show is airing, and she'll say like, watch the show tonight type of thing. Or outside of that, she may post like a picture of Jalen and Monster then and now type of picture. Or she did post when she rung the cancer bell, the chemo bell. But other than that, she doesn't post a lot. So hopefully it's because she's not really on social media that much and not really into it, and it's protecting her peace.
Yeah. 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 So
as far as what I expect to see next season on the show, I'm sure we're going to get more of Kimmy's cancer journey. And I would like to see that. I like to see it because I think it's inspirational, and it's it'll be good to see her come out on the other side. But it can be a lot just going through this whole process on TV. So more of that. I don't want to see. I actually don't want to see the Whitlows. I don't want to see Destiny, and I don't want to see Stormy either. But I feel like next season we're going to get a lot more Stormy. I don't want to hear any more about Marcel and messing with somebody. Like,
well, Carlos said this is it. He said, I'm putting it to rest. So
like, I don't want to hear nothing else about that. Like, just leave that alone. I don't want to hear no more about Kiki either. Like, leave Kiki going back to wherever.
Yeah, I don't think
that going back. I just would like I would like to see more of Mel's businesses and what she's doing. I mean, now that I know she got a man, I would like to see her man. I would like to see her going on a date with her man. But, I don't know if we're going to get that. I guess Martell, him and Sheree. I don't even know if I want to see that. I guess we're going to get that on Housewives. And maybe a taste on Huntsville. I don't know. I mean, outside of Sheree, I'm not even sure what Martell's storyline would be.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know, child. Maybe.
And as far as the other Scots, what I would like to see from them is actually I would like to see what goes on in Black. What goes on in Black? Like, that's what I want to see from them. What y'all be doing up in Black? And when y'all gonna build y'all house? Build that house. That's what I want to see.
Maybe we should have asked Jalen. Be like, so Jalen, like, can you give us a day in the life, or whatever you would call it, a nightlife of
Black. What goes on in Black? That's what I want to see. And maybe I'd like to see. I know I said I don't want to really see no more of Stormy really, but maybe I'd like to see like Courtney with the guys, like mixing it up.
Yeah, I think we only got like 1 or 2 scenes. Like he was playing basketball And then Marceau and him sitting down talking about some business dealings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree. I don't know what to expect. I do know, like, watching some of Carlos's after reunion recap, him talking about like certain things that are just like off the table, and
We definitely.
apparently,
I hope he not. I'm about to say we definitely don't want to see Martell's baby mother. Like, I don't want to see
yeah,
that.
I don't think I don't think that that's I don't I the thing is that I don't I'll say this. I think that Carlos has enough respect for Mel, especially as an executive producer, that he's like, I won't do that. And from my understanding, she's already declined. Like, even when they were trying to do something, like even just a phone call or FaceTime, she was like, I declined. I was like, good girl, good. But yeah. So I don't think that's what's going to be. But as far as my expectation, I don't know. Like, again, I think one of my main concerns, because so the people that I would like to actually see go, and as much as I, either love or like them or have grown to, I really want Melody to go. Like, I like her and I just want her to go. I think that she could personally get on YouTube and have a male show, like Mel and Family, whatever. I just I don't want to see her on the show anymore. I don't. And if we do see her on the show, I do agree with you that I do want to see her businesses highlighted. I want to see what she is truly working on. And I do genuinely would love to actually see a friendship highlighted. Again, respectfully, I get it if real friends are like, I just don't want to be on the show. I don't want anything to happen with us because it's reality TV. This is what they look for. They're going to dig. They're going to this, and the third. So I get it. But I just would love to see her to have more support than just Miss Van. So that's Mel. The other, Destiny, not giving anything. So when she says open book, that's a lie from the pits of hell. We're not getting no open book. We're not getting an open book. So she needs to go. I want her to get mentorship. She has some Madani candles, so y'all make sure y'all support her, because since she's not about to get this Huntsville check, at least not right now, because she has confirmed again that she has not been asked to film. So we can just assume that she is no
Oh,
longer a part of the show, and or Carlos is just like, I'm gonna just push it, and then maybe the last 2 weeks we'll have you come on with something to be like, it should be like, hey guys, I'm back. I know you guys started that, and I wasn't filming, but they called me back. Whatever. Probably, maybe, we'll see. But I would like for her to go. I want her to get a real deal mentorship so that she can focus on businesses, because business hopping, and when you have a lot of people dragging you, Destiny, in the comments saying, I drive past there almost all the time and it's always closed. Shut it down, boo. Get that man back his property, and just do e-commerce. Like, because you said even yourself, when somebody was like, oh, I was thinking about coming to Madani on Saturday. Oh, boo, I'm not gonna be there. It's not open. But you can always order online. If that's what you want to push, then close down the shop,
mm-hmm.
stop wasting money that you need, and do e-commerce. Plain and simple as that.
Yes.
So again, if we did see Destiny, it would be the same thing that I would want to see when it comes to Mel. Like, I want to see a actual business thrive, because we literally had a Madani grand opening, and nothing grand happened. So I'm like, this was all for what? What was it all for? So I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know. So she's got to get it together. But yeah, so like, again, if y'all love Destiny, and she's got a Madani Ignite. It's like a broken
Oh, the can.
candle. where she pretty much explains that, it's her broken pieces, but she's igniting and coming back and rising like a phoenix and all these sort of things. So if y'all want to support Madani Ignite, y'all go on ahead. Here's the plug. Go support her because she's gonna need the check. She's gonna
What
need
is the scent of the candle? Did she say?
I don't know.
I won't be purchasing.
So that's that. As far as Stormy, another person that I don't want on the show, again, has nothing to do with me not liking her. I do like her and I want to continue to like her, but I just feel like I feel like they kind of threw her into some things, and then now it's like a lot of things is looking like what's going on here. So I just, again, I would like for her to remain a successful woman. I want her to be able to keep her ranch or her estate, say, with her miniature ponies and horses or whatever. So I'm like, just live it up and like just continue with your success, and that's it. Like at the end of the day, people will. I think that she did enough where people will still check for her. That's the thing. Like, yeah. Again, I think Cardi B had one of the best entrance and exit plans when it came to Love and Hip Hop. And if people can really just study what she did, you come in, you make a mark, and you go out. That's it. Anyway,
you spark the interest,
and
they'll come right on to your social media or wherever else you are.
Yeah. So that's that. I think that, again, we already know Mel to be successful, so I think that she will always have continued success. Doing same thing as Stormy. And the thing is with Destiny, I just don't think that being on Love and Marriage is bringing you the success that you need. So that's why I want you to off the show so you can focus on your success, get a mentor, and do what you have to do. As far as everybody else, that leaves, if we were getting rid of all those people, which we know that two are definitely coming back, Stormy and Mel. So it's pretty much the person that's possibly not going to be back is Destiny. But keeping everybody else, I mean, whatever. I don't really have like really much to say. I do like Kimmy. So I will look forward to her continued healing. Other than that, like, I'm not checking for nobody else. I'm just not. I don't have any expectations. Like, I really don't have any expectations of those other people. I don't. So we'll see what happens. If there's something grand and successful that happens to them and that gets showcased outside of the whatever, then that would be great. I'm always about Black ownership, entrepreneurship, all those sorts of things. I love it. So if we get to see that from them, great. Other than that, I ain't into them like that. So that's that. But yeah. So yeah, y'all let us know in the comment section. What was your thoughts about this last part? That didn't need to be a last third part. It needed to be just all together. And what are your expectations when it comes to next season? Are you tuning in? Because some people are also just over the show. They're like, this is not
some people are like, it's just too much drama. I can't take it.
Yeah, they're like, I'm tapped out. I'm not interested anymore. But you guys let us know what you think. And who are you excited to see on next season? And who are you saying, they can go, I'm good, I will not be watching them or looking out for them. Yeah. So with that being said, oh yeah, the Willows can go too, child. See, I said, do you hear?
They already making their way out. Because like I said, they sprinkled them in at the end of the reunion. It was like, where they come from?
Yeah. But thank you so much. Don't forget to share and love up on that like button and subscribe to our channel. All right. Peace out.